Good morning. This is Heather Blackman coming to you from the front of Lions Head Village here in Vail. It is a beautiful blue sky, sunshiny morning. Great way to start a fresh new week. We've got all the information to let you know what's going to happen this week, things that you can be planning for, and Vail Valley Live starts right now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Vail Valley Live. I'm Trisha Swenson here in our studios at Grand Hyatt Vail. We just saw Heather Blackman out at Lion's Head this morning, and what a beautiful and sunny morning for us. We've had a lot of cloud cover this winter, so I think you're going to like the forecast, at least for the first part of the week. And our daylight hours getting so much longer as we're rolling into spring. Next weekend will be daylight savings time, so that will change. Will be spring forward, moving those clocks ahead 1 hour. We'll lose that 1 hour of sleep, but I think you'll love the effect. The afternoons and the evenings the daylight will stick around for a little bit longer. It'll be a little darker when you get up, depending on when you get up, but just want to remind you that daylight savings is coming next week. So the clocks will be moved forward Saturday night into Sunday, and luckily with all of our electronic devices, our smartwatch or smartphone, it pretty much does the job for us. But it's always good to just be aware of that to make sure you're on time for anything you have going on Sunday, or especially that Monday once you return back to the work week. But we want to give you some details on what is going on with your weather for today. And we're going to see mostly sunny today. Warm temperatures as well, a high upper 30s, low 40s, and then tonight mostly clear, dropping down to about the mid-teens, upper teens for you. But we are going to have some breezy conditions once again. Well, the west-southwest wind, 10 to 15 miles per hour, increasing to about 20 and 25 miles per hour in the afternoon. Winds could gust to as much as 35 miles per hour. It won't be as windy as it was yesterday, but that breeze will make things feel a bit cooler. So even though the daytime temperatures are calling for highs in like the low 40s, it could still feel a bit cooler once you get into the higher elevations. So I would dress for that for sure. Now for your Tuesday, mostly sunny once again. Similar temperatures right around the low 40s and overnight lows dropping down into the teens. And then we don't see much of a chance for any showers until Wednesday. A 20% of showers after 11 a.m. and then a 50% chance of showers overnight on Wednesday night, and a 50% chance of showers for your Thursday, and maybe a few showers as we go into the weekend. But that's what we're looking at for the next couple of days. Snow accumulations, once we get to that point later on this week, maybe a couple inches Thursday, 3 for Vail, 3 for Beaver Creek, maybe 1 on Friday. And then Saturday looks like that's a chance where we could see some more snow. 5 inches predicted. Now, this is just predicted, and this is a ways out. So just want to let you know kind of what we're seeing. But hey, we'll take the sunshine for today and tomorrow, and then we'll see the clouds move in on your Wednesday. So that's a quick look at your weather. Hey, I want to remind you, if you're watching us live, you can always chat with us on YouTube and Facebook. You can like our Facebook page. You can subscribe to our YouTube page, and then set the alerts so you know that we're live, and we can get all all your questions answered during the show. You can also watch us on Outside TV. We're on Channel 17 on Comcast Xfinity locally here in the Vail Valley. But let's bring it back outside to Heather now and find out what it feels like. And Heather, I just can't believe like how bright it is. I don't know if it's because we've had so
I
many
know.
cloudy days. Like I feel like it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I mean, the sun just seems so high up in the sky.
100%. I thought that when I woke up this morning too. Usually I feel like I'm used to getting up and it's still dark out and it was very bright, which made
Yeah.
it maybe a little bit easier to get going. And it is very blue skies. I think it's like you said, we've had so many more overcasts with the snow and just a little less sunshine than at least I'm used to in the wintertime. So yeah, taking full advantage. It is going to be a gorgeous day. And as the sun comes up, it's actually warming up really nicely too. When I first was out here this morning, it definitely felt a little chillier and sun makes a difference.
I
So
know.
it's already starting to feel better.
Yeah, I can see your breath, but you know what? That sunshine makes it seem all the much better. And looking at sunset tonight, it's going to be at 6:02 p.m. and then
Yes.
sunrise would set 6:29 this morning. We're about, a week and a half, 2 weeks away from our vernal equinox. So we have the autumnal equinox in the fall and then vernal equinox in the spring.
Hmm.
And that's when, maybe not exactly, but that's kind of when you have equal daylight hours, equal nighttime hours. So we're
Yep.
almost at that point, and yeah, we're pretty close to it with 6:02 and 6:29. So in a couple more weeks, we'll see that where it's almost equal. Probably not quite, just depending on your latitude and where you are. But I love it. I don't mind the fact that we have these
Yeah.
changes in our daylight. You go to Mexico or Hawaii, somewhere closer to the equator, and you're like, it gets dark like around 6:30, and you're trying to grill out, and you're like, what? I went on a fishing trip once in Mexico, and I thought, oh well, we got to get there by 6. It'll be totally daylight. Well, no, not quite. It wasn't. It was still dark out. So you don't
Right.
have those swings like we do. I grew up in North Dakota, so it would be daylight in June till almost 10 p.m.
Oh, I remember that too. I think when I was sorry, it's a little bit loud with them moving the snow. I remember though being a kid in Pennsylvania and like swimming in our like above ground pool in the backyard until like 9 p.m. or
Yeah,
10 p.m. being still light. So I definitely remember that, and that is kind of nice when you pointed out. I'm definitely on the fence of I would always rather it to be light in the evening. So to me, when this time change comes, we're moving back into my favorite time swing. But
oh
it's
yeah.
that's a great point. That change is kind of nice to have that variety.
Yeah, yeah, we got the variety, and you could just feel it. You just know with this time of year, this change of seasons. It definitely feels. It's going to feel like spring today, and we've got all those equipment behind you that's been moving snow and everything. I think this is going to be a day where you maybe start to see some parking lots. Maybe melt off a little bit, but a lot of times what happens is that refreezes, and then we have
Yes,
big ice rinks out there, which is
that
really kind of
that is a good
dangerous.
description. That's
Yes.
exactly what my parking lot was like this morning. So walking to my car, I was parked outside and I was kind of like tiptoeing across
Yeah.
going. I mean, definitely an ice rink. I think ice skates might have been a little safer getting to my
Yeah.
car. So that's a real thing because as that sun comes, everything gets melty. I thought it yesterday because there was pools of standing water, and
Oh yeah.
then yep, refroze right away. So definitely be careful as those changes start to happen.
Definitely, definitely. Well, I can see people making their way on into work today. There's someone on their bicycle. Yeah, you could probably get the bike out this afternoon. Like we get some diehards that love to get on their bike, and I think if you stay on the roads, the sidewalks are still a little bit
Yeah.
snow-packed, icy, and then when they have that melt, that does freeze overnight, and that's a sure way to ruin your summer is breaking your collarbone in the spring. So just be
Oh,
careful if you're going to be out on a bike today. Just try to stay on dry roads is my recommendation.
definitely. No, that would be a terrible way to start the spring. So being a little bit careful. And I do think actually maybe this is the time that this starts to happen. So just being aware because ice definitely is on these sunny days going to be something that happens at the beginning and kind of the end of the day. And yeah, you don't want to go into spring with a broken anything. I think
Yes.
let's all make it to be able to get into those less layers with everything working just fine.
Oh yeah,
No
yeah, yeah,
issues.
yeah. Save your summer. That's what I always say. Save your summer. SOS. Save your summer. Don't do anything too crazy out there and get hurt right before. And we'll have an Ask the Doctor segment today too, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But hey, we got to get rolling with the show. We're gonna let Heather roam around. She's seen all the snow mitigation and all the little vehicles working. They're up early this morning, getting things ready for you to start your day. But stay with us. We're gonna be with you till about 8:30 today. So let's get moving, and we'll come back with your Vail Daily headlines and a road report.
Welcome to Nap Harvest. We are showcasing healthy habits, and you can start right here feeding your family healthy organic vegetables and fruits that are seasonal and local. They're all the way from Arizona with our wonderful, beautiful citrus fruits that we sneak across the border for. But don't forget our nap mushrooms. Grown at 9,000 feet, mushrooms are chock full of benefits for you. And then also the microgreens, also chock full of vitamins. Come see us at Nap Harvest in Eagle Ranch on Sylvan Lake Road next to Color Coffee. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 4.
Welcome back to Vail Valley Live. I'm Tricia Swenson here in our Grand Hyatt Vail studios with your headlines for Monday, March 6th. And on the cover, boy, it was a pretty indicator of the weekend. We had some cloudy skies. New ride. Snowboarders ride the new Sundown Express lift on Wednesday in Vail. The lift is supposed to alleviate congestion and getting out of the back bowls. And if you haven't been on it yet, it's a pretty sweet ride. So that's the new lift number 17. Sundown Express on Vail Mountain in the back bowls. But headlines for today, earning another chance. Staff and volunteers at Eagle County Jail help inmates re-enter society as members of the community working toward better futures. You can read more about that on page A5. Also in today's news, Time Machine is going to take you back anywhere from 10 years ago to 50 years ago. And did you know that 50 years ago this week, the Eisenhower Tunnel officially opened to motorists looking to avoid U.S. Highway 6 on Loveland Pass? The dedication took place at the east portal of the tunnel, and the public was invited to attend. A large gathering took place to celebrate the tunnel's completion, with hundreds of people packing in from wall to wall to listen to an official dedication from then Governor John Love. So pretty cool to think about that. It's a 1.7-mile long tunnel. And it sure helps alleviate some of that traffic going over Loveland Pass. So that's a look at what was happening 50 years ago. So happy 50th anniversary, Eisenhower Tunnel. Also in today's paper, Eagle River Fire Protection District asking for a tax hike. They're seeking money for equipment. More on that on page A3. And we're going to take it over to sports now. So the women's alpine ski racing teams, well, they were in Norway at Kittville, which isn't normally on their schedule, but Michaela Schifrin is hoping it is. She took 7th in the Super G. So now the chase for Ingemar Stenmark's record moves to RA Sweden. So she could still tie or break his record this winter. If not, they're kind of starting to wrap up that race season. But you could take a look at what she's thinking in today's paper on page A15. And then also in today's arts and entertainment, Vistas, mix and match charm. Live music and terrific service help keep Vista a local favorite. This is located at the Arrowhead, the Country Club of the Rockies. Vista at Arrowhead. Such a beautiful, beautiful venue, basically remodeled in the last couple of years, and delicious food and that music with Mickey Pogue on the piano. It makes for a great dining experience. So check this out. It's on page B1 of today's Vail Daily. And then on page A10, look for Vail Live, look for Town Talk. You can get yourself into the paper by hashtagging Vail Live on Instagram, and maybe your photo will show up. Find your friend, find your dogs. Maybe it's a birthday, learn about a creative writing class. All sorts of things can be found on Town Talk and in Vail Live today. So grab your paper. It's in newspaper dispensers. It's for free. You can find it from East Vail all the way down Valley to Dot Sarah, or just go online, vaildaily.com, and they'll have a lot of these stories for you, as well as breaking news for you as well. And now we're going to talk about the roads. Roads pretty nice and dry. No new snow in the last 24 hours, even though we had the cloud cover yesterday. And a lot of that wind could have been blowing some of that snow in the higher elevations. But otherwise, it's looking dry. We're seeing some of the roadsides, even some of the ditches between the roads, starting to melt off just a little bit in the lower elevations, but not so much in the higher elevations. One thing to think about with these sunny mornings that we're going to have today, tomorrow, and a little bit on Wednesday is your windshield wiper fluid, because that sun glare is real. So make sure that you've got your clean windshield to help you see if your commute is taking you eastbound on some of these days. And then the same thing when you're going home from work, going home from skiing later on, when that sun is setting. Sunset is at 6:02 p.m. That's just prime time for you to get kind of a little bit of that sun glare on your windshield. So top it off the next time you're at the gas station, buy an extra bottle, just keep it in the car for experiences like this that we're seeing. I think some of those little road cams, Anthony, they could use a little wiping off. You can see that sun glare just kind of affecting the view on that as well. But let's go back outside and bring it out to Heather and see what she thought. Yeah, how was your drive in this morning? Did you get a little of that sun glare?
Definitely got that sun glare. I had the visor down, the sunglasses on. It was very bright, but like you said, easy drive, which is kind of
Yeah.
nice as well. We've had a couple of little slick days. Nice change.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely was. And I see you're by the ice rink, and that'll be open for the public today. We've got a couple of outdoor rinks, which is so nice to have kind of in the village core. Solaris has one
Yeah.
in Vail Village, this one at Arabelle just behind you in Lions Head. Then, of course, Beaver Creek has their rink, and they've got those ice bikes too. I don't know if you've ever seen those little bikes with the blades on them, and then you pedal around on the ice.
Man, that it seems like a lot of fun. One of these days I've got to try it, but lots of ways to kind of get out. Even if you're not getting on your skis, you can try that ice skating, the ice bike. There's so many things to do, or even just walking around this village, especially later in the day, it kind of starts to wake up. The other thing you can see right down there is Blue Moose Pizza, which is one of my
Oh
favorites.
yeah,
But there's also that new Alpine Pizza company around the corner up here. So, you know,
yes.
starting planning early for maybe what you want for lunch or dinner tonight, and a couple of really good options around here.
And you know what? That Alpine Pizza Company, you've got to go get on their Instagram, because they will list what their
Yeah.
pizza of the day is. And when it's gone, it's gone. It's Detroit style pizza. It's very filling. You really only need this, or maybe two if you're really, really hungry. But they've got dipping sauces, really creative pizzas. So that's a good thing to put on your list. It's not a restaurant where you go and sit down. So with a nice
Right.
afternoon like today, you may want to take it and then just bring it to one of the picnic tables. We've got some seating just around the village. And, Heather, we're going to be starting some live music, on Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Vail
Yes,
Opera is doing a lot with some disco. I think we got the silent disco happening tonight, and that'll be, I
I
think,
think
it's
you're
over at
right.
the International Bridge from 4 to 7, and it's free. You just put the headphones on and kind of dance around, and then they alternate between Lions Head and Vail Village, so you can go back and forth. But I think it's Mondays and Thursdays when they're doing that. But a few other things going on today. Hey, yoga at the museum. So we're gonna have that
Yes.
Monday at 9:30. It's an hour-long yoga. It's $15 per person, and it's kind of nice to utilize the museum in just a different way, which I think is really cool. So it goes to the instructors and the museum. Bring a yoga mat, a water bottle. Hey, bring a friend, and just kind of a nice way to start your week if you don't want to get out on the hill bright and early this morning.
Yeah, I think those are always really neat too, because you get to practice in a space that you wouldn't necessarily be exercising, right? In that museum, I've seen the layout for how they set up for class, and it looks like a really fun way. Like you said, start the day, maybe then grab a cup of coffee across the street, and then make your way to the slopes as
Yeah.
things even start to warm up.
Yeah, get things limbered up a little bit. But hey, but speaking of yoga, I know that you do the sound bath yoga. Tell us about
Yes,
this.
yes. Yeah, so this has been something I've been hosting. I think my first workshop was last October, maybe November, and it's one of my favorite things to do. And so tomorrow night at Anahata in Minturn, we'll be having the only sound bath I'm hosting this month in Vail Valley. So it's a full moon restorative yoga and sound bath. So you get a little bit of movement, and then you get to kind of relax and enjoy the vibrations from the instruments. And I think you've been to one of these yet. Is that correct?
No, I have not. So I might have to sign up. And how cool that, wait, so we have a full moon and we've got the sound bath yoga going
Yes.
on the same day. Okay. I know it's been so
Yeah, so the full moon's tomorrow morning.
it's been so cloudy. I can't keep track of like what moon cycle we're on. I'm like, I never see it. It's always cloudy. It's like, but yeah, but this would be cool. And yeah, Minturn does a great job with this, with their little Anahata yoga and wellness right there. And then you're doing, but over in Summit County, right? In like Frisco?
Exactly. Yeah, a little bit this month. So I have been doing both of these actually are with another sound practitioner, which is really cool. It's a lot easier for me to be able to share what we're doing, and one person can be demonstrating, one person can actually continue bowls, and then when we actually do the sound bath, you've got two people playing all the instruments. So if you can kind of picture those big crystal bowls that people have probably seen, even if you haven't heard, and then we have gongs and rain sticks and chimes, and it's really quite beautiful. I know if you had my Instagram page right now, so at Fit Aspire, I did a reel a couple of days ago just giving a little tiny little taste, just with my phone microphone, so it's not a super high quality. But if you've never heard it before, it's kind of a nice way to just get a flavor of what they're like. And then the one later in March will be at Meta Yoga in Frisco. So if you happen to be on that side of the path a little later, that's another great opportunity. And that'll be with her of Meta. Um, I just totally blanked on her name. It happens as soon as you're supposed to say it. But so we're both going to do that there too. So it's kind of a nice to, be able to just relax, get a little bit of movement. I always do breath work with these as well. Work is such a powerful way to kind of move things through the body. So it'll be a really wonderful evening. So you can always find these events on my website, fitaspire.com. Or Anahata, another place to find it. Mind Body app, probably for almost everything yoga you're going to find in the valley. Everybody's
Oh,
so if you
wow.
just download that, you can find all the events that are happening. So it's a great way to just yoga today. Let's find it. Let's see what's going on.
Well, I think a lot of times for visitors too, they want to still kind of continue their practice or even just explore what
Yeah.
we have and how fun for them to kind of stumble upon like, oh, this full moon sound bath on Tuesday. So that's neat that we've got that resource. Now, have you heard of forest bathing?
I have never gone to it, but I know there's a local teacher who is an instructor in it down at the Vital Elective. So that I have heard wonderful things. I think started in Japan and is becoming quite
Yes.
popular around the world.
It definitely is. And even if you just, go for a hike and just kind of be quiet, maybe keep the music off, don't have your headphones in and just listen to
Yeah.
everything right there. We're doing free nature walks today over at the Walking Science Center from 2 to 3. And this is just a perfect length of time for all ages, all abilities, because you're going out of the Walking Mountains Science Center campus out of Avon. And maybe many people didn't realize there's that Buck Creek Trail. Even just walking
Oh
around
yeah.
campus is really cool too. So they do these pretty much, most dates except I believe on Sundays. But it's a free nature walk, perfect introduction to Colorado's natural world. You join a naturalist for just a little bit of education, and it's a nice gentle hike through the aspens and the kind of the riparian communities because the little creek is right there. So they do just ask you to register in advance, and you can easily just go to walkingmountains.org for that, and then you'll get set up for this. So that could be something people could do later on. Oh, and Heather, we pulled up your Instagram so we could see Anthony got it
Yeah.
up for us. Let's see that real quick. Okay, there we go. Whoa, look at that. All
Yeah,
right.
if you scroll down just a smidge, you'll see that
Okay, then the
reel with the
sound
sound
bath.
bath on it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
there
Okay,
you go.
okay. Oh, that's so cool. All right, so Fit Aspire is what we can look at for that. Fit Aspire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Fitaspire.com or on my Instagram page, there's links. Makes it kind of easy. Everything's all connected these days, right?
It definitely is. Definitely is. Hey, did you go down on the hill this weekend? I know a lot of times you
So
love to go, especially over to the Beeve.
that's true. You know what? I actually went out of bounds this weekend. So we stay in the back country. After hosting on Saturday morning, I went, I probably missed the really, really fresh powder, but if we hit Meadow Mountain and Minturn, then we'll still be able to get it. So,
Okay.
we've been mostly inbounds this season for some reason. But this weekend, both Saturday and Sunday, we had a chance to go uphill. The powder was fantastic. So if you are somebody who likes uphilling, we were there late in the day yesterday, still plenty of fresh powder, which is kind of the nice secret about that country because you don't nearly get as many people tracking it out. So you can find it for much longer.
Yeah, you know what?
How about you, Sha?
Well, yeah, so I did uphill early Saturday morning. I went from the base of Arrowhead Amy's deck, which is over Bachelor Gulch,
Mm-hmm.
and then we skied down, and then we go home and then we change clothes because you're all so sweaty from uphill. And
Yes.
then we get on our alpine gear. We came over to Vail and we skied mostly the western side. That's kind of my little thing to do on Saturdays. You go 26, 8, gondola 19. Maybe two as a little bit of a crowd, but we were at a Game Creek Bowl, and man, that new six-pack lift, there was no lines. We had no lines at
Oh,
all on
nice.
Saturday, but I think if you stick to the Western Hillside, that's kind of a little trick. I think you'll have more people at Northwoods, more people down at China Bowl, maybe a little bit of Blue Sky Basin, but it was pretty flat light. And it was a holder. Like, I'm glad I dressed for winter, even though it's March. I dressed for winter conditions, and I was a little chilled. So I think with the wind today, we could see it feel cooler, like the wind chill factor could come into play. So I would definitely, dress a little bit warmer because even when you head up, a couple thousand feet, we start at 8150, we go up to 10, 4, 11, 2. It is going to be colder in those areas, especially with the wind today. So I definitely would have the neck gaiter and just maybe a base layer that you can always take off, put in a backpack, or we've got those lockers kind of all over the mountain too. It's better to be too warm than too cold.
I agree. I feel like once you start to get cold, it is so hard to warm back up. So having those different layers and just staying cozy. And I am a big fan of hand warmers and toe warmers. I keep
Oh, yeah.
hoping that they'll have more of a reusable solution, but every time I try those things, they haven't worked as well for me. But having that, be able to heat things up in your gloves and in your boots, I find really helpful.
Okay, I know. I do too. All right. Well, hey, we'll come back with more. We've got a lot more to talk about. Maybe some Valar shows. We have some World Cup updates. Aspen just hosted them. And also, we've got an Ask the Doctor. So, Dr. Dorf is with Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery, and he's going to be giving us some tips on any kind of questions you might have, because it's time to Ask the Doc.
Good morning. My name is Eric Dorf. I am an orthopedic surgeon with Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. I'm here with Vail Valley Live to do some question answering. We've had some questions submitted, and I'm excited to get started. My specialty is upper extremity surgery. I do primarily hand, elbow, and shoulder, but of course in the wintertime, we take care of all sorts of injured athletes, including tibias and femurs and hips and ankles, and I'm excited to be here. Okay, we have all of our questions which have been submitted from the studio audience in our handy dandy Lang XT90 blue boot. What is a rotator cuff patch? Is there any benefit to the patch over traditional surgical repair? That's a great question. Rotator cuff surgery is one of my favorite operations. I love it. Patients do great. One of the most difficult things with rotator cuffs is that some rotator cuffs are completely torn, and some of them are partially torn. Well, when they're completely torn, the decision makes it easy. We just fix the rotator cuff. But what do you do with a rotator cuff that's partially torn? In those instances, sometimes we'll actually complete the tear and then fix the rotator. Other times, before we had the patch, we didn't have any other options, so we would just leave it alone, but it wouldn't get worse. Well, the rotator cuff patch actually gives us the opportunity to put the patch on top of a partial thickness rotator cuff tear, and then the rotator cuff activates that patch and grows together and gives us a great option for patients who have a partial thickness rotator cuff tear. It's completely changed my practice, and I love it. I've dislocated my shoulder multiple times. Should I give up snowboarding? The answer to that is absolutely not. The reason we do take care of patients who have dislocated their shoulder is so that we can get back to the sports that they love to do. So if you've dislocated your shoulder multiple times, you probably are going to need surgery on this. If you've dislocated it more than once and you're young, almost for sure you're going to have to end up having an operation on this. So there are a number of things that we can do. One of them is we get you into physical therapy to work on strengthening some of those muscles around the shoulder so that it doesn't dislocate as easily. There are braces that we can wear. So for example, if you're in the middle of your season, you don't want to give up your season, we can get you in a brace and then perhaps get your shoulder fixed in the spring. And then of course, shoulder surgery for dislocated shoulders is really a very successful operation. What is wide-awake hand surgery and who qualifies for it? That's a great question. We do wide-awake hand surgery for anybody who needs basically a minor procedure that is anywhere between basically here and here. So skier's thumb, fractures of the hand, fractures of the fingers. There's a lot of elective surgery that they do wide awake, and basically it's any who doesn't want to go to sleep for their procedure. Another reason I really love wide awake hand surgery is we can talk to the patients during the operation and tell them what we're doing, show them what we're doing. They can see how much we care about what we're doing and what a detailed job we're doing trying to make them better. So it keeps everybody in the operating room on their toes. And the patients really seem to love it. And they don't have to have any anesthesia, so they're awake and they leave the operating room and then they leave, go back home in 15, 20 minutes, no effects of anesthesia. It's great. I fell and jammed my thumb. How do I know if this is just a sprain or something serious like a skier's thumb or a fracture? So that's a great question. How do you know if something is serious? There's a couple of things. People always say, oh, well, I could move my hand, so I knew it wasn't going to be a serious problem. That's not necessarily true. Anytime you've got a swelling, I think that's an indication that there's a structure that's been damaged in there. So that's one thing that can give you a sense that, okay, there's something really bad that's going on. If you've lost sensation in your fingers, that might be something you would want to get looked at. If, on the other hand, you're using your hand pretty normally, it didn't swell up, it's not big and black and blue, then that's probably something you can wait and see. Ice, anti-inflammatories, immobilize it for a couple of days with a simple brace if you've got access to something like that, and see how it goes. For the most part, we're available all the time to take care of these little minor bumps and bruises. If you're concerned or if you're here on vacation and you want to get something looked at, we've got an office in Vail. We can certainly get you and take a look at it, get an x-ray, make sure we're not dealing with something. And then you can sometimes move forward with a little more confidently with your vacation or with your season, knowing that you don't have an injury. Skiing is aggravating my tennis elbow or my elbow tendonitis. At what point should I consider surgery? First of all, conservative management for tennis elbow is a very effective treatment. So we oftentimes start with something very simple like a brace. And come in, I can show you exactly which brace we use for that. Injections for tennis elbow work really well. So a lot of get you through, or at least get you through the acute phase of tennis elbow with an injection. A lot of patients to physical therapy for tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis. That does really well. Surgical management is really reserved for people who fail all of these conservative treatment modalities. Another option that we have for patients who don't want to do surgery is, so we do PRP in our office. We've got a great guy who does biological with us, Dr. Matt Nurkey. So I send a lot of patients to him before we proceed with operative management. And somebody who fails all of these different treatment modalities would then be probably a candidate for operative management of their tennis elbow. The downside of surgery for tennis elbow is there is a significant amount of time off, and people around here do not like to take time off. So we try to treat these as conservatively as we can and move to surgical management of these overuse injuries only when we really need to. This is Eric Dorff. I'm orthopedic surgeon with Vail Summit Orthopedics, and this has been the Ask the Doc segment with Vail Valley Live. Thank you very much for all of your questions. I hope that you got some answers.
Welcome back to Vail Valley Live. Time now to take a look at what the weather is going to be like for today. And we're already starting out with a very sunny morning, warm temperatures as well. We're at 19 degrees on the valley floor, 15 at Beaver Creek, and 15 over at Vail. We're going to reach into the low 40s today and plenty of sunshine. Put on that sunscreen. I know that we always say to put it on even when it's cloudy, but especially a big reminder to do that on a day like today. Kind of hour by hour, by about 9 a.m., we'll see low 20s, and then we'll see up 20s by about noon, and then we'll top off into those warmer temperatures this afternoon. Sun will be setting at 6:02 this afternoon, so you've got lots of hours to enjoy. Now, the wind is going to pick up today, so we want you to be aware of that. It won't be as windy as it has been, Saturday night into Sunday. We see a lot of that wind, but we will see gusts possibly up to as high as 35 miles per hour out of the southwest today. And then for tonight, mostly clear, a low in the upper teens. And then for Tuesday, back up into the 40s, and then we'll see mostly clear as we go into Tuesday night. Now by Wednesday, we got about a 20% chance of showers, and that will be mostly after 11 a.m. So partly sunny, and breezy conditions again for your Wednesday, and then a 50% chance of showers Wednesday night, 50% chance of showers on Thursday, and it looks like we've got a chance as we roll into the weekend as well. As far as snow totals are concerned, no new snow in the last 24 hours at Vail or Beaver Creek, and then we'll maybe get a couple inches out of the storm on Thursday, maybe 3 inches, and then kind of tapering off into your Friday, and then another chance of showers into Saturday. Maybe that could produce more. And who knows? This year has been very crazy the way it says maybe we'll get 2 inches, we get 6 or 7 out of there. So it's pretty crazy how things are happening. But I want to thank Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery for this weather and mountain report. The lifts open at 8:30, so you can have just maybe a little about 25 minutes until you can get up there. And I definitely wear the dark lenses today with the goggles. Sunglasses can work, but I think with the wind, goggles are just a better choice. Save those sunglasses for après. But let's bring in Heather right now and talk a little bit about ski racing. So Heather, have you been to the Birds of Prey at Beaver Creek? Like, have you seen the race action when it comes to the
Yeah.
Beeve? Okay. Well,
Oh, so cool. Yeah.
yes, super fun. And this year normally they come to Lake Louise, Canada, and then they make the next stop for men will be at Beaver Creek early December. Well, this year they added Palisades, Tahoe, and then they added Aspen last week. So I've been looking at, Uncle Lee, who's the big announcer at all those events. He's been to both of those, crazy events, and it's just so fun to see his footage. I know Lindsey Vaughn was just in Aspen as well. She was doing a book signing at Gorsuch. She was also just hobnobbing with everybody. And Stephen Nyman, who has been on the U.S. men's alpine ski team for 20 years. He announced his retirement last week, and he said, I'm going to do one more downhill, and it's going to be a fun one. And so he capped off his career. He was wearing jeans and a jean jacket. He's got this jean jacket vest. Oh, that kind of has all these patches on it. It's kind of the American downhiller. That's what they call themselves. But let's see if we can roll that. Can we see? Can we just play it and we can talk over it? So Stephen Nyman, he was in 4 Olympics, 2006, 2010, 2014, and 2018. He was named to 4 Olympic teams, but he had an ACL tear for 2018, so he was not able to compete in that one. He was in 5 World Championships, and he was first in 3 different World Cups in downhill. So kind of neat to see him coming down. So he was given high fives and hugs, and he definitely said, he said, I know I'm going to cry. He's shed a few tears this week at various interviews and everything. So, but just cool to see him. He came down into the finish line. His little daughters were there, and his parents were there too. So believe Stephen, what a career, but he was just hanging it up. So that's what we had going on this weekend. And then no Americans on the podiums, but Alexander Amat Kilde. That's Michaela Schifrin's boyfriend. He did pretty well. He got Saturday's downhill. He got first. He got third in the Super G yesterday. So, I'm sure the energy was just so high over in Aspen for this. I wish I could have gone. I love the World Cup when it comes to Beaver Creek. So it's just fun to see what happens when it comes to different ski towns as well. So thank you, Stephen Nyman. We'll miss you out there on the course.
Oh, that looks like a lot of fun. And I didn't realize you were in Aspen this weekend, so I
Yeah,
completely missed this one.
yeah.
So many activities, it's really hard to keep up sometimes.
Oh, I know. It definitely is. And yeah, let's talk a few more things about what else is going on this week. Okay, so the Valar Performing Arts Center. We talked about Eisenhower Tunnel turning 50. Well, the Valar turns 25 this year. So they had the big Nora Jones sold out concert on Friday, the big celebration at the Valar Performing Arts Center. But it doesn't stop. We've got so many more shows. March is a packed schedule for the Valar.
Yeah.
So coming up, we've got the Drummers of Japan, Yamato, Drummers of Japan. And it's a Japanese taiko drumming group. And they're going to have all sorts of drums on the stage. They're going to have probably more than 40 taiko drums, and all of them have different characters. So, for example, their largest drum is called Odaiko, and it's produced from a huge tree over 400 years old, and it's approximately 2 meters in diameter and weighs 500 kilograms. So I can't imagine, so these guys they were doing a Japan tour, and then they were doing a worldwide tour. So we're a part of that. And can you imagine traveling with all this equipment? So it's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, I bet that is an interesting discussion going through customs and such with those giant
Yeah.
drums with them. But this seems like a really cool show. I'm a little disappointed I won't be able to join. We actually tried to go see them last year, and they had to cancel. So I think it's a really special thing to bring to Beaver Creek.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a big thing to come to our area. So ticket pricing, they got special prices for kids, and if you want to buy the 4-pack and everything, so go to valarpac.org for that. So it'll be this Thursday, March 9th. And then the Preservation Hall Jazz Band presents Pass It On. This is their 60th anniversary. So same age as Vail. Vail is celebrating their 60th anniversary, and that's going to be on March 10th. So just the next night. So Thursday will be the drumming. Friday is going to be the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, and the Preservation Hall is kind of just a humble, much loved room dedicated to keeping the past and future of jazz alive. So it's known around the world, but the band's mission remains focused on initiating audiences to kind of the religious experiences of channeling their ancestors through the music and culture they've inherited from them. So this is cool. And the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, they actually played 25 years ago when the Valar was having its inaugural season. So a little bit of history. And they played here before a couple times. So it's great to have
Yeah,
them back. It's really cool that they're going to be able
they're
to come
quite
back.
they're quite amazing live. So if that is something that you can fit into your schedule, I highly recommend it. I'm hoping to make it back in town. Fingers are kind of crossed to
Yeah,
maybe sneak into that show. But it's jazz is a special thing anyway. And I think that's a really really awesome group.
yeah, yeah. So that'll be on Friday. And then AJ Croce plays Croce. Croce plays Croce. So he's going to be playing a bunch of songs from his father. So it's just going to be a great night featuring, his late father, Jim Croce. The tunes, like he was just like on that verge of making it, and then he died in the plane crash. So cool to see. He's gonna do timeless songs like Operator, Don't Mess Around with Jim, Time in a Bottle, which was written for AJ from his dad, Rapid Roy, the Stock Car Boy, Lover's Cross, just to name a few. So there's going to be a lot of other songs too. He'll do some classic covers, Bessie Smith, other folk and roots artists, and that's going to be on March 15th. So just so cool to get some of these concerts on your calendar, because I think we'll be seeing a lot of sellout shows coming up.
I think especially as things start to get warmer, I don't know, people are more in the mood for music again. And so, and hey, there's so much coming up, right? We've got the concerts at the AMP coming up. There's like, you can start to be packing your calendar. So you might as well start to prioritize and
Yeah,
figure out where you want to see.
exactly, exactly. And I think, are we going to play the interview with AJ Croce? All right. Yeah, we had a chance to just get a little insight from him. He'll be coming to the Valar once again on March 15th. Here's more. Joining us now, we have AJ Croce. He will be at the Vail Performing Arts Center on Wednesday, March 15th. It's the Croce Plays Croce show. So we're excited to have him on the show right now. We're bringing him in, and you're calling in all the way from Nashville. Welcome.
I am. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. How long you lived in Nashville?
About 15 years.
Okay. Yeah, what a great place. Musically, I mean, that is such the hub place to be, not only for country music, but lots of different genres. So, yeah, I can imagine you love it there. But let's talk about the upcoming performance at the Vail Performing Arts Center in Beaver Creek. It's quite a gem of a theater. Now, have you played here before?
Played all over Colorado, but not there yet. This is the first.
Okay. Well, you're going to be treated to, it's a nice intimate theater, horseshoe shaped, very nice for the crowd to get some interaction with you. And will they be able to, or you tell us how the show is going to run?
Well, I like to leave it a little to chance. There needs to be a fair amount of improvisation in every show, and I have a song list, but not necessarily a set list.
Okay.
And so I'll play, of course, I'll play all the hits, but besides that, it's up in the air. This show is really about the connection that I have with my father, his music, and the music that really connects us.
So just kind of that legacy and that legendary music helped you live on. And I understand that there was some songs written for you, Time in a Bottle being one of them. So what does that mean to you?
Well, what does it mean to anyone to have a song written about them or for them by anyone is a real tribute and an honor. It's humbling. The fact that it became a song that was known by the world is even overwhelming.
Yeah. I can imagine. And I think it's going to be neat that you'll be able to share some of these stories on the stage, right? You'll be able to take some breaks between the music.
Of course. We don't play straight through. It's a great band. All on stage are Grammy-winning musicians and legendary players. Gary Malaber, who recorded those great records with Van Morrison in the '60s and '70s, and David Berard, who was with Dr. John for so many years, and Patti LaBelle, and my guitar player James Pennebaker, just wonderful players, and they'll go in any direction that I'm willing to take them, which is the most fun, to keep it fresh every night and to throw in new songs and old songs.
Yeah, because it sounds like, some of Jim's songs, some of your songs, and then the different influences that you both had. So that should just be a great night of just all sorts of music. Should be such a great showcase of talent. And you guys are going to be on the road. It looks like you're kind of all over the place before you get to Colorado, anywhere from Louisiana, Rhode Island, and then moving west. So tell us about this tour that you're on right now.
Well, right now it's pretty much all over the map. Tomorrow I'm in Tulsa, and then next I'm flying to New Orleans, and then I'm up in the Northeast, and then back to the Midwest, and then over to you guys in Colorado, and it's pretty crazy. Starting in the fall, I'll be doing a 50th anniversary tour to celebrate my father's 2 albums. 3 albums, really. Don't Mess Around with Jim, Life and Times, and I Got a Name. And we'll play all of the songs that are from those albums and more. And so that tour in the fall will be a little bit more, geographically correct, I should say.
Yeah. Not going to so many different time zones all over. Now, when you're not touring, what are you doing? Are you still getting ready and writing more songs? Like, how do you unplug?
Writing, playing, trying to exercise a bit every day, going on walks, reading, writing.
Yeah.
I have an album that I'm recording in May, so been planning for that because it's a little hard to do when you're touring as much as I am.
Yeah.
And just kind of go from there.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
And then the last question, any advice, anything that you know now that you would give to your younger self?
I think to not be quite so stubborn. Um, I think I was pretty set in my ways when I was young, and I think had I been a little more open, I would have had more interesting experiences. Not that I haven't had a world of them,
Yeah.
but you can always have more um, creative and wonderful experiences in this life.
Okay. Okay. Good advice. Good advice at any age, AJ. That's perfect. Okay. All right. Well, hey, we're going to let you go. I know you got your busy tour coming up. You're working on things for your album recording in May. So we want to thank you so much for your time. And we can't wait for you to see the
Yeah,
Villar. It's such
I
a beautiful
can't wait.
venue. We're looking
Well,
forward to
take
it.
care. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yep. And this show is going to be on Wednesday, March 15th. Tickets still available, $38, 7 p.m. is showtime. So go to valarpac.org for more information.
Join us every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and watch Vail Valley Latino. Our goal is to elevate the voices of the Latino community in the Eagle River Valley and provide a platform to speak with local businesses, organizations, entrepreneurs, creatives, and much more. Find the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Outside Television Channel 17. We are Vail Valley Latino.
Hyatt's newest luxury resort in Vail.
Welcome to Vail Valley Live. I'm Trisha Swenson, and I'm going to let you know about the weather right now. It's going to be a beautiful, sunny, spring-like day. It's not officially spring yet. We haven't hit the vernal equinox. That'll be in, another week and a half or so, but we are seeing some sunny skies, clear skies as well. 19 degrees outside right now on the valley floor, and then 15 up on Beaver Creek and 15 over up on Vail Mountain already. Now, by about 9 a.m., we'll get into the 20s, and then around noon, almost to 30 degrees, and then we'll reach the 40s shortly after that. No new snow in the last 24 hours, and really no new snow in the forecast for a couple of days. So if you like today, you're going to like tomorrow, maybe even a little better. We'll see 41 for your high, 19 as your low, and then for Wednesday, we will start to see some clouds roll through, just a 20% chance of showers, otherwise some sunshine mixed in with your Wednesday. Thursday, about a 50% chance of snow showers overnight, and then for Friday, we'll see a chance of snow showers after 11. Looks like the most accumulation could come towards the weekend, though, by Saturday. Otherwise, just a couple inches here and there at the later part of the week before we get to the weekend. And then we're going to see windy conditions as well. Winds could gust up to about 35 miles per hour today. We could see gusts up to 25 miles per hour tomorrow and about 20 miles per hour on Wednesday. So still sticking with those windy conditions, which can make it feel a little bit colder. So you may want to bundle up a little bit more. Even though it says it's going to be 40, it's still going to be in the 20s for most of the morning if you're getting out there for first chair at 8:30. We're opening the lifts 8:30 to 3:30 on Vail Mountain. Keep in mind, Blue Sky Basin closes first, then the back bowls at 3 o'clock. And then over at Beaver Creek, we stay open till 4. And then we have 3:30 at Vetcher Gulch and Arrowhead as their closing lift times for you. So just always pay attention. If you need to get someplace, make sure you're on that lift before it closes in case you're at a different part of the mountain that you didn't plan to end your day at. But let's bring it out to Heather and see what the line is looking. Whoa, look at people are getting after it on a
Yeah.
Monday.
Filling up both on the lift is a little bit lighter, but the gondola is definitely filling up. So lots
Wow.
of action coming out. It's a lot more alive than maybe a lot of Monday mornings. So I think people are excited about skiing in some blue sky conditions again.
Yeah, you know what? I have some friends that are just fair weather skiers, so they just wait for days like today. They're like, blue skies, blue
Yes.
ones. Here we are. So, that's probably what they're doing. And we're starting to see people coming out for the spring breaks. Eagle County just had their midwinter break. They'll have their official spring break in April once we close on the 23rd. But many other schools, they have their spring breaks in March, especially when when you get to the
Yeah.
second and third and even fourth weeks. I know that my sister's family in Chicago, they used to always have their spring break later in March. I had friends from Texas. Texas had two different spring breaks, the second and third weeks into in the middle of March. New York, Florida, lots of different spring break schools. So I think people are starting to bring their families out and enjoy it. But we've got a lots
Yeah.
of reason to. We're on a 70-inch mid-mountain base for Vail and a 58 base over at Beaver Creek. And Vail is looking at 276 inches and 256 inches season date at Beaver Creek. So it's been quite the season so far.
Totally. And I think we already surpassed last year's full totals by this past weekend. So much snow. But it is kind of nice to have a little bit of blue sky back. So make it a groomer day, maybe still some powder in the trees in a couple of places. But I think, these are definitely the days that start to make you excited about spring and being able to sit outside and, enjoy a beverage or your lunch and not be quite as cold. So it's a nice way to, enjoy our outdoors.
It is, definitely. Well, you know what? And if you want to look good while doing it, maybe you're taking a little break from skiing and you're wanting to do something fun. Hey, head over Vail Pass today and go to the outlets at Silverthorne. We've got the Columbia outlet and we've got a little fashion show. So we want to show you what the looks are this spring.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ziegler, fashion guru and stylist for the outlets at Silverthorne. We're here today in this beautiful village and we're all sporting Columbia. Columbia outlet is amazing. First tell you about my jacket. I found it here. Oh my gosh. It is a child size extra large. Okay, it's normally equivalent to about a small women's, only I'm going to spend $27 instead of maybe $40 something because it's the same thing. It's sized just about the same. That's just a little tip. And next, wait till you see some of the outfits. Amazing. First, I am obsessed with what Rachel has on. She has on Columbia. She has her faux fur pink puffer jacket. Love it. She's got a basket weave cream hoodie top, which is absolutely adorable. Her gray comfort jogger pants and her pink and white Sorel tennis shoes that are 70% off right now. Her whole outfit would come to $425 in the retail world, comes to $184 at the outlets at Silverthorne world. She's going to save $240 in the real world right here at Columbia Outlets. Thanks, Rachel. And here comes Enza. Enza looks fabulous in her polka dot fun hoodie jacket, insulated, comfy, warm. She also has her fun fleece jacket that also kind of matches it, which you can wear together or alone, depending on weather, of course. She has her amazing black sweatpants and her burgundy Adore boots. And including that fun little tangerine hat, her outfit would be $299. It comes to $165. She gave an extra 10% with her savings card. So my good going to save $134. Thank you so much. Thanks, Enza. And here comes Nathan. So Nathan has on the coolest jacket, a burgundy jacket. Oh yeah, his check shirt looking great. He can wear that with full things and all seasons. His navy sweatpants and his Columbia men's trail shoes. His would be $365, comes to $194. Nathan's saving $170. Wow, he looks great. Next, Anna Nicole, it's all about you. She has her fun seafoam hat on with her faux fur, her fun seafoam amazing green graphic tee, and look at that fun seafoam jacket. Love it with the faux fur little collar hoodie. Oh my gosh, adorable. Fabulous sweatpants and her green Columbia boots. Equals $230 retail, comes to $127 outlet. She's saving $102. Way to go, Anna Nicole. And Marina, love this. Perfect, especially for today when it's a little chilly out. She's got her Omni Heat full length puffer jacket, her fleece graphic 3/4 zip fun top on, which is fleece, it's current, warm and cozy, her black performance tights, and her Sorel gray suede with fleece high tops, which are 70% off, equaling $45, I might add. Her black hat is buy one, get one half off, and her whole outfit would be $524, comes to $206. She is saving $317. Way to go, Marina. And this is Yandel. He is ready to go to the mountains. Oh yeah, going skiing or snowboarding, I'm not sure. His Omni Heat jacket, his camo blue fleece zip top, his snow pants, his reversible stripe beanie, which is really, really cool. He also has his fabulous goggles on that are all 40% off, and his Columbia tie shoes. Whole outfit with $331 comes to $131. He's saving $150. Thanks, Yandel. And Maddie and Elizabeth. This is Maddie and her mom, Elizabeth. They are both sporting the same outfit, different colors, looking so great. So they have their amazing, I call them their pigtail fun little hats on, buy one, get one half off. Their fleece jackets, which are a quarter length, so cute and stylish and warm. Their Omni Heat tees on, which are different colors, love it. And then also have their performance leggings. They're graphic leggings. One is more of a purple, one is more of a navy blue. Their Sorel boots top it all off at 7% off, $45 each, I might add, right this minute. And their hats are all $35, and they come to $17 with their discount. $405 retail for the whole outfit, head to toe for each outfit, comes to $193. They're saving $209, all from the Columbia outlet at Silverthorne. And this is a great place to save, a great place to come over. It's just a short drive, exit 205 at the Silverthorne exit. We'll see you soon.
I love it. I love all the fashions and some of the brighter colors. Seafoam green is always a good spring color as well. And same with that rosé, that really light pink color that's so in right now. But hey, I want to bring in Heather. We're about ready to say goodbye. Pay attention to the crawl that's grooming at the bottom, or the grooming crawl that's at the bottom of your screen here. I was looking at some of the groomers and some good ones to do today. I think going back to Blue Sky Basin would be pretty awesome because the sunshine, the visibility is going to be nice. And the thing is, you don't have to be an expert skier to go into Blue Sky Basin. Blue Sky Basin has a lot of intermediate runs, and some of them are groomed today. Big Rock Park East, Cloud 9 Middle, Big Rock Park West, the Star. So that could be a good way for you to go. And if you get yourself over to China Bowl, you can always take Poppy Fields. Poppy Fields West was groomed, and then bypass the base of Tier 21. And then you just go down to Skyline Express. You head up there. You can do a couple of Big Rock Parks, and then take Teacup Express to get out of there at the end of the day. So intermediates, you can do Blue Sky Basin. It's pretty fun, especially on a day like today. Let's get Heather's opinion on this, because I think that would be a good place to go. I think Blue Sky Basin would be a good place to go.
Excuse me. I think that is an awesome place to go. I think, and also, I mean, even the back bowls, you can go as an intermediate skier just about everywhere on the mountain, which is always really impressive. And just kind of fun if that's not something you've had a lot of experience in. I think we have some unique terrain you're not going to find a lot of places when you're in that intermediate level.
Yeah, and you know what? The slot could be good for you to do. That's a blue, and that has been groomed, and it's not super long. I like the slot. It's just kind of like it gets you to where you need to go, and you feel kind of cool because you did the back poles and everything. So that could be, but don't go.
Exactly.
Stretch yourself if you feel for the challenge, but like don't get yourself in a situation where you're not having fun anymore. There's nothing worse than that, and I see that a lot with, couples and everything. So
yes.
Yeah, don't get yourself in a situation.
Peer pressure can be good to a point, but yeah, don't push yourself to where this is no longer a fun situation. Remember, we're trying to stay healthy in March. We're not trying to
save our
injure
summer.
ourselves.
Save our summer. Well, it looks like that line is moving on through. We've got things open for you. So, the gondola line still has a little bit of people in it, but that will get moving no time at all. So, perfect. Well, Heather,
but the lift is open all the way. So, that might be the way to start.
And if you take Chair 8, Bourne Express, over to Pride Express, that will get you up to the top, the same place that the Eagle Bond is getting you to. You just don't have the room on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I want to say hi to Rodney. Thanks for chatting in today. Rachel, thanks for chatting in today as well. And we will see you guys again tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow, 7:30. Thanks for watching this morning. We'll see you tomorrow.